Okay, well, very sorry about that. I have no idea what happened. Let me link this out again. Okay, good. We're back. We're back. Alright, what was I? So, I was talking about damage, right? Oh, it's too bad. I gotta start outright recording this, I guess. Because now this is gonna be a two-part YouTube video. I'll upload it tomorrow. Um, anyway. Anyway. Like I said, like I was saying. If you get hit by a low damage combo, some 1,000, 2,000 damage combo, and it's going to put you in a situation that it'll probably not be advantageous for you, it's fine. If you're ready and prepared for it, I'm always assuming you know matches. Like you should know this matchup. You should get that knowledge. It's not a big deal. The things you want to burst are the combos that are going to put you in the really bad situation. In a really, really bad situation, and or not both, and or do a lot of damage. So, in extent, if I'm playing a Lychee mirror and a Lychee hits me in the corner, I'm probably going to burst. I don't want to deal with Kokushi. If I'm playing a Mitsuru mirror and I get counter hit in the corner, I'm probably going to burst. Like, don't want to take that damage. They might not know Debu full set play, but let's not risk it. If you get hit in the corner by Teddy, probably going to burst. He does a lot more damage in the corner, and he gets stupid setups in the corner. Just don't want to deal with that. Rule number 2, don't, how am I going to word this properly? Don't burst wall bounds. This is a BB thing though. Well, I guess it's Persona 2. Don't burst wall bounds. That's bad news. It's way too burst safe. This is like naturally burst safe because you fly into a wall and you bounce off the wall, except you kind of, once you hit the wall, you bounce off a little bit and you just fall. You don't fall so quickly. The opponent recovers way before you. And your burst will probably get baited. Don't burst not air moves, A moves. That's rule number 3. Do not burst A moves. I keep saying air moves. A moves. If you see someone doing multiple A's in their combo, like multiple jabs in their combo, they are probably baiting your burst. They are waiting for that burst. Their combo will do less damage, but they're looking for your burst. So since if you know, and you can visually confirm this just by how they're comboing, even though the whole combo does less damage, the amount of damage they do up until the point you can burst is more than if they did the max damage combo, because you could burst that earlier. Hope that makes sense. That was rule number 3, right? So rule number 4, don't burst falling air moves. So this would be like Narukami, JB, delay B, um, any air dash in the middle of a combo when you're standing. It's bad news. People are holding back. Or in the case of the falling air normal that Narukami does, he is just going to fall down and your move is going to whiff, which is even worse because it looks terrible. It looks so bad. The general rule for defensive burst is to burst a move that you can preferably burst on reaction, and try to make the move whiff. Whatever move you're trying to burst, don't let it touch you, let it whiff. That's the safest burst you can do. It's fine to break the rule once in a while, it's fine to just like get touched and just burst them off you, but at the same time, there's a chance you can get baited. There's two more rules I'm going to slide in there that I should have. One is don't burst moves with a lot of hit stun, especially if they have meter, because they can RC on reaction. And the other one slipped my mind, didn't it? Yep. But that one's pretty important. Don't burst moves with a lot of hit stun, because it's really easy to just RC it if they have meter. Also multi-hit moves, that's what I was thinking. Multi-hit moves. Don't burst multi-hit moves unless they have like 0 hit stun. Like zero, absolute 0. What's a good example of a move with multi-hits that you shouldn't burst? I feel like Rachel's 3C would be one. Taokaka's 3C, there you go, Taokaka's 3C. It's a great example of a move you should just never burst if they have meter. It's way too easy to one more cancel on reaction. An example of a move you should burst, Mitsuru's Bead Wall, Lychee 6D, Taokaka 6C, Kanji Sweep, Naoto's B Fang, the one that's using SMP loop. That's a little tricky though. Oh, there we go. Yeah, don't burst jump cancelable moves. That's what I was thinking. It slipped my mind. And that's the one people are going to try to hard bait with. So anyway, any move that has a long duration, preferably a long recovery too, but it doesn't have to be. Just a long duration. And your goal is to make it whiff. If you burst like that, then you don't have to worry about people baiting your bursts, because they won't be able to. It's fine to burst at different parts of a combo, but it's generally best to burst like that, because then it's just guaranteed, you'll always get it, you don't have to worry about getting baited. The moment someone does whatever move that's jump cancelable, jump, block, when you have a burst, give them 0 credit with your burst. Like, from then on, don't burst at other parts besides totally safe burst points, because they're going to try to bait your burst like crazy, like that. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Don't trust them. Don't believe in them. They're going to do it. That's it. Period. I'm really driving this point home because they really don't stop. Now, as far as baiting bursts, what do? I tend not to hard bait bursts. I keep having this happen where this used to happen a bit, where I would do whatever 5B and then jump block, they don't bait, they don't burst, and then they turn the game around and win. Terrible. Terrible. It's a bad way to go. It's actually just about as bad as someone doing a jump cancel move, jumping and blocking your burst. It feels about the same. What I very much prefer to do and spend a lot of time in training mode doing is trying to find burst safe combos. Burst safe combos, how it's generally going to work is your burst safe combo probably will not do as much as your normal combo, and that's fine, because your burst safe combo will contain a mixture of jabs, some sort of combination of jabs, odd jump cancels, and character-specific things. It's usually character-specific things. So, using Mitsuru's throw as example, mostly everyone does throw 5AA 6B sweep bead wall. I do 5AA 4B sweep bead wall. Why do I do 5AA 4B sweep bead wall? That 4B is burst save. And actually, it's one of the rare burst save combos that do the same exact damage as a normal combo, which is great. It's, like I said earlier, your burst save combo will do less damage than your normal combo. But, if they burst, and you did your normal combo, you would do less damage than if you did your burst save combo and they wait for your burst point. Just because you got later in the combo than your normal burst combo. Your normal combo, excuse me. Which is great. So it's really worth it to try to find these kind of things. The other nice thing about burst save combos is your opponent might not know what part. There's some universal things, like I said before, that look burst safe, but if you have character specific points or character specific things you can do to be safe, I'll use CS1 Light Chase as an example. Her old combo was like 5B 2B, guard point A, move the stick forward, and then you did Rekkas and got on the stick. So what everyone would do, even though Light Chase did a ton of damage, can't argue that. If you waited for the guard point A, move the stick forward, and the first Rekka, she barely did over 1,000 at that point. So if you bursted that first Rekka, you were out, you were safe. For now, you were safe, and you can keep playing. Great. Later though, there was a burst safe combo part there where you could do 5B, 2C, guard point A, move the stick backwards. Oh no, wrong. I'm thinking about wrong. 2C, guard point A, move the stick forward, 6C one hit of the stick, without the stick, move the stick back, and you keep comboing. Now this 6C move the stick back, that falls in the category of move with way too much hit stun and no recovery, because you're moving the stick back has no recovery. And people would just burst, I would block it, just take their burst, because it doesn't look like something that's burst safe particularly. So you have to be careful of those. Mitsuru, of course, if you watch me play Mitsuru, you see me bait. What the commentators would say is, man, what a bad burst. Domi burst. He bursted into the sky. Why would he do that? But in Mitsuru's case, Mitsuru's pretty unique because almost all of her combos look exactly the same, but they could be done in different ways. So there's a way, and I demonstrated this in a video that I made last month. There's a way to do her mid-screen combo that will make people whiff their bursts, but if they don't burst, you just do a combo. It's fine. It's great. So be really wary of that. Obviously, there are quite a few examples of this because there are quite a lot of characters in Arxis games, period. But if you're planning on playing BBCP, Exerd, or Ultimax, Ultimax, spend some time with in training mode trying to figure out stuff like that. Show us. Okay, I will show you. That's not a bad idea. Rather than bring up the video, I could just do it again. I didn't get to do it today. It's just easier to say Ultimax. That way you can still call it P4U. P4 Max, P4U Max, I don't know. I don't know. It's not the worst they've done. We do refer to one of Arxis' games as CP. How many is this? It's recorded 3, right? So let's do record 2. Okay, so first we're going to do record 2. I'm going to burst at the same point that people usually burst. Actually, they're too late. I might burst though. And then, if not, still combo. So this combo does, let's look at the damage. $3,685 damage versus it's probably like 3.7 or 3.8. So it's 100 damage difference. No, you can burst that, but people don't usually burst there. Some people do, some people don't. You can burst this. You can burst that fine. You're close. There's nothing I can do about that. But I'm not going to change my combo just for that. I'm just going to combo anyway. Just gonna do that. I wonder how much I can delay it. We'll probably can't do anything meaningful. Okay. But it's fine. Like, for me, it's fine. And this is pt2's general mid-screen combo, by the way. So there's more, I'm using this as the easy example, but there's more than one way to go into it. Like, you can go into it off anti-air. I'm going to off anti-jump. It's like a general combo. Except I'm not so good at showing. Oh. There you go. There's more than one way to go into that. And of course, the best part about them doing bursts is that they bursted. Next time you just have them. It's much better to just take the damage or / take the burst and try to use whatever burst safe things you have. As far as gold bursts go, they're like a reversal. So you have to bait them. But you can bait them in the same way as you bait reversals. So it's not there's not really rules for it. You have to see how willing they are to use their gold burst in the first place. So that I can't really talk about for a long time. There's no real point. Great. Questions? Overall questions? I'm going to get ready to wrap this up. Questions about whatever we talked about today? No? No one? No? No questions? Just waiting for questions. On questions about anything, even. Doesn't have to relate to bursts or the habit discussion. What can Narukami do against Mitsuru? Knock her down. What do I think about New? I think she's shit. I hate the robot characters in BB. How do you play Yosuke well? It depends. I feel like you have to identify what kind of character you're playing against, like how much damage do they do, and how good their neutral is. So if you're playing against a character like Teddy, you could hit him one time with a full combo and run away for the rest of the game. Or if you're playing against someone like Mitsuru, you have a lot of stuff to worry about. 'Cause if she hits you one time, you're done. How do you find burst save combos? Training mode, maybe by accident. It depends. There's the same general rules exist. Like say I wouldn't burst there. Actually, I wouldn't burst this. Not that. Like, that might not be a good idea to burst because it's air dash in. The other person could be holding back. But like the stuff like what I just showed of Mitsuru, that's stuff I just found in training mode. You have to just explore the character and figure out stuff. What can play Labrys? What kind of play? Well, when I played with Bob, I was only playing for a month, and he's been playing for like half a year. So I didn't really know what was going on with Labrys. The hard thing about Mitsuru versus Labrys is air dash jump B, but there's ways for Mitsuru can do air dash back jump A to deal with it. It's pretty much like Labrys has big moves, larger moves than Mitsuru, and they're pretty quick, and they don't really have a ton of recovery besides Sleep and 2B. So she can compete with Mitsuru neutral. It just sucks that once Mitsuru gets a counter hit or an airborne hit, you're done. Like she does too much damage. What do you look for when you're trying to make burst save combos? Well, besides the general rules, so where can I stick in extra jabs? Where can I jump cancel and still combo? Can I do anything special after wall bound? Can I do any falling normals any differently? I try to look at like what the character can actually do. But if the character has anything special that it can do. So I would look for ways that the character could keep the opponent in hit stun while returning to a neutral state as quickly as possible, if that makes sense. Like in Lychee's case, the 6, if you watch me play Lychee at all, in Extend, you'll always see me do like 6C, move the stick back, and take a step back before I do my next move, Baiting Burst. The Mitsuru combo part was, I found it pretty much by accident, but it kind of falls into that category. No, actually it falls into its own category, because it works because Mitsuru's sweet low profiles on frame 1. Generally, you just try to look for one of the rules. Like, what rule does your character have? Like, Chie, I would definitely look for burst during Rampage. Like, because it's multi-hits, and you don't have to really do anything until the last hit. When spinning rims hits too, you can wait for bursts, like, stuff like that. What about mix up with Elizabeth? What about mix up with Elizabeth? Some players, some high-level players, stray off into a subcategory of advanced player, and they never really fall out of it. How can you notice and respond properly? Do you mean like seeing, like, you notice that they play kind of different, and then you want to change? Because if that's what you mean, then it's the same as anything else. You identify it, you identify what it is, and you try to come up with something against it. Either on the spot it might be pretty hard, but especially if you have footage of it, you can go back and figure it out. And then if they're a subcategory, as you said, not subcategory, as you said, that means their style is unique. So next time you play them, you know automatically that this is how he plays. What are you going to do when Juna comes back to the stage? I'll be fine against Juna. If you watch my old matches with Juna, it's pretty obvious why he just beat me up over and over and over. Alright, I'll take, I guess, two more questions. Ah, okay. We end up having players like Leonel. No, I know what he means though. But it's still generally the same thing. Like, my answer still stands, kind of. Unless he was talking about how Leonel acts in person. But Leonel has certain parts of his play that are just like him. Like, he always does this shit. Like, when I used to play him in the corner, if my back was to the corner and he was a little ways away from the corner and would dash, I would just guard point, because he loves just fucking throwing out Gauntlet, like TK Gauntlet. That was something he used to do. And also, he is very confident in the types of decisions he makes, and is willing to just do some. Like, if I said, for example, using the Narukami example I was talking about earlier, when a line hits and the opponent is willing to do like 5 things, so I would do something that selects against one half or the other half, like 3 options or 2 options generally, but Leonel would select one thing, something that beats one thing really badly, but if he was wrong, then he'd get punished. But he does that to like try to get in your head, and also because he's really confident. Like, I'm just better than you. A lot of things he does, kind of says I'm better than you, so I'm doing this instead of like doing this kind of safe thing that would not really put me at a disadvantage and put me at an advantage if it works. I'll do this kind of unsafe thing that will put me at a really big advantage. But if I'm wrong, I'm at a really huge disadvantage, but I'm going to be right because I'm better than you. If that makes sense. What's the best way to pick your character outside of aesthetics? The problem being more indecision. So if you can't pick a character based on the way they look, pick one based on the way they play. And if you can't pick a character based on the way they play, then pick a top tier character, and you'll probably have fun with them. Yeah, I hate that too, Eric. I really hate when people do that, but at the same time, those kinds of players are the most fun to beat. But it's annoying though when people do that. But whatever. Like I said, you have to just you have to beat everyone. You can't be like, don't play like this. You can't tell. I mean, you can tell people, but you can't really stop them. You have to stop them in the game. That's the only way. It is really fucking annoying though. Okay, I'll take one more really good question. And probably one more shitty question. Are you a fish? I guess you are a fish. I don't know, my standards of play are really high, so don't ask me if I think you're good, because the real answer is usually no. I don't think a lot of players are good by my standards. I think a lot of players are good based on the average. So I think you're like okay based on the average, but by my personal standards, you're not good at all. Brenton, you're pretty good. You're pretty good, I would say. If you were able to eliminate me from tournament with Narukami, I would say you're good, like straight up good. The Chia knocks you down a notch, but you've had legitimate wins against me, and you've eliminated me from tournament more than once, which is more than a lot of people can say. So I can't discredit, like it's impossible to discredit straight getting eliminated from tournament. Those times where you send me to losers and then I beat you in 2 sets though, you should feel bad. But no, I think you're pretty good. I think you're pretty good. If I... How well... Oh man, I started... Here we go. How well do I rank LK? Tactical East Side. I think you're okay-ish. Like, okay. Like... Okay. I shouldn't say decent. I don't like the word decent. Top 5 US players in any order. Top 5 US players like SKD. No specific order, but SKD, myself, Breaker Dave, Mannequin. Kaigu when he was playing, but he's not playing anymore. He hasn't played for a while. It's hard to pick a fifth outright. I can't think of a 5th outright player. I can think of 4 really easily. I can't put it in order because it's hard. Like SKD, let's take every player. This is actually a fun way to end this. SKD won Summer Jam last year. 4th at NEC, but I didn't play him. I played the Japanese, and he also lost the Japanese. We both lost the Japanese. It's just that I beat one of them. first at Apex, first at Winter Brawl. SKD only has one non-major win out of his majors. Okay. But he's only played at Summer Jam, Winter Brawl, Apex, and NEC. So he's only played at Northeast tournaments. But out of the 4 Northeast tournaments he's played in, he's won 3. Now, Bananakin's case, he won Frosty Faustings, UFGT. He won that tournament before 2F TFC. And he got 3rd at EVO. He pretty much just his situation is he fucking bodies people who are in his region. Like, it takes someone really good from outside the region to stop him. So the only reason why he got 3rd at EVO and 2nd at CEO was because someone stopped him. Someone stopped him from outside. So he lost to I believe Daichan. He lost to Daichan and myself, and he lost to me at CEO. I don't think there's a lot of he would body people, like outright body people. I think he's the best Shadow Lapras. In my case, I won the most majors. I played in the most majors, I think, out of anyone. So I played Summer Jam last year, Seasons Beatings last year, NEC. So Summer Jam 3rd, I won Seasons Beatings, I got 3rd at NEC, got 2nd at Apex, got 7th at Winter Brawl, that kind of sucked. I won Final Round, I won Civil War, got 2nd at UFTT, I won CEO, got 2nd at EVO, got 2nd at Summer Jam this year, and I won TFC. So I played in about 12 majors. Some of them are quote-unquote majors, but whatever. But out of those, I won Season Beatings, Final Round, Civil War, CEO, and TFC. So I won 5. I won 5 majors. So, but I also have a consistent record. But not, like, Banana Ken doesn't have enough majors to, like, see how he'd play consistently, but he'd probably get 2nd, 1st a lot. SKD has only gotten 1st, but his player pool was smaller, even though it's technically, like, I think the Northeast has a pretty high skill level overall, and he's won in it. He's won here. Like, it would have been interesting to see how he could have done at EVO. I think he's an easy top 8 EVO, unless he really got rounded out. I would agree that that NEC was special because that NEC was super competitive. That top 8 was a rough top 8. Undeniable. Some of them, it varies, but NEC's carries a lot of weight. And then Breaker Dave, the reason why I say Breaker Dave, I don't like his playstyle, but he's undeniably good. Like, it doesn't matter if I don't like it, he's good. Especially his Evo play. His Evo play was what really solidified it for me. Cause he was winning in Cali, but that's like whatever. Like, the competition isn't super fierce. Like, he has Bond and T-Lock, but T-Lock's Mewtwo is incomplete, and Bond's Naoto looks like a Ragna, which is an odd crossover. But, I mean, Breaker Dave did win solidly, and Mewtwo versus Kuma is a bad matchup. So him winning that is like when I beat Chia. Like, that's the same thing. That's what it looks like to me. But his Evo play was really what did it. Like, he played extremely well. It's undeniable. You can't discredit him at all. Like, he played really, really, really well. So those 4. So it's really hard for me to pick a 5th, because there's no 5th player who's like that. There's no 5th player who's like that. Like, I could consider Kopoval. But he doesn't have... it's either he doesn't have enough majors or he didn't play enough out of region to me. And then when he played out of region, he didn't do as well as he could have. So the rest of New Jersey, the other two players from New Jersey that play a lot and travel a lot, are Grover and Kobovo. So Grover and Kobovo went to Civil War. They got like third and fourth. The question was about Persona. It's just about Persona specifically. So that's what I'm talking about. But I mean, I forget what happened to Grover. He lost at some point in Evo semifinals, and Kobovo got 9th, right? Or 13th, something like that. It's hard to pick a fifth player. I can say 4 very easily. Spark, no. Spark's an easy no for Persona. I don't think you have to travel countrywide to improve more. I do think you have to play a lot of different types of players to do better, to improve. So traveling is just convenient. Like traveling is just, well, you're going to play against everyone anyway, right? The West Coast plays different than East Coast, plays different than Midwest. They have different, like, people in different regions. People in the same region may have a similar playstyle, and the different regions have similar playstyles. Like Midwest and Florida kind of are a little more random. West Coast is hard to say what West Coast is. It's East Coast. I like saying in anime that Northeast is the strongest region, or to be fair, Northeast is the region with the most strong players, with the highest amount of really strong players. West Coast has the highest average skill level. West Coast and Pacific Northwest tend to have the highest average skill level. Northeast, I think, has the best strong players. My personal opinion. But yeah, I think about that kind of stuff sometimes. No, I say Northeast, tri-state area. So New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania is what I'm talking about specifically. If you want split regions, it's gonna be the last thing I talk about. It's almost midnight. Um, there's Toronto, Canada, Montreal, Canada, New England, tri-state area, MDVA. That's the Northeast. Um, Most people, when they say Northeast, they usually mean the tri-state area. Southeast is like, I guess DC, got Mystic. Zombie's fair to say. Ivysaur is probably the best player down there. Usually the best player down there. And once Bratton goes down there, he'll probably be the best down there. And you have South. So South is usually Kid Viper. Kid Viper usually best anime player. West Coast usually varies, but recently it's like Breaker Dave in SoCal and Apology Man in NorCal. Pacific Northwest, which is Washington State, Oregon, maybe Utah. I don't think so though. They just have a lot of very good players and then a couple of strong players. Usually like Kaigu and Spark are who people talk about. I think Kaigu is better than Spark. Oh, Huey too. Kaigu, Spark, Huey. Huey improved a lot. Spark is definitely very good and very knowledgeable, so that's his strength. And Kaigu is like the best fighter. He has a really good playstyle. Midwest Persona, it's Bananacan, and BB they don't really have like a super player, like a player who would come from the Midwest to, let's say, Tri-State for a tournament, and people would be like, damn, this guy's showing up. Like, they don't have that kind of player. Northeast, I mean, you know, NJ top 3, SKD's here, Tom Berry's here, Zidane's here, Marlon Pie's here, so much talent in the tri-state area. New Jersey is like stupid for competitive gaming. Like no matter what game you play, you probably have someone who's really good at it in New Jersey. It's really random, and probably within an hour of you. No, Tom Berry is undeniably strong. Tom Berry is undeniably strong. Like you can't, like don't kid yourself. Like anyone who's played Tom Berry will say he's a ridiculously strong player. I'm not even saying that because he's my friend, but anyone who plays him will just say he's good and he's one of the strong players. And he always becomes one of the strong players. If he's seriously playing Valkenhayn in BBCP, he's going to be one of the best players. It's not even a question. If he plays Jin, he's going to be strong, but if he plays Valkenhayn, he's going to destroy people. Straight up. New England, I guess the best player in New England is pt2. Montreal, Canada, of course, has Curbster and Bryce. Honorary mention to level 5 Jeep Chan, because he just pulls out wins. Like, by my standards, he's just like, but I can't argue that he pulls out wins. Like, he could win. So, he has my respect for that. He can just win. And then Toronto has, I think Zero's pretty good, and Kosaka's pretty good. Those are like the strong players from there. And Zero was playing Valk, so that's points to him. Pennsylvania is random. Like I include Pennsylvania because it's part of the tri-state. Pennsylvania is part of my heart because I lived there for school. So I'm the best player in Pennsylvania. It's the truth. But if I'm being serious, Super Science is there, and he's not bad. He can be really good. He has the potential to be really good. I think he's just, I don't know. He has some mental block that's stopping him from being really good. Yeah, I went to college in Pennsylvania. I went to St. Joseph's University. Oh, Skype. Okay. Yeah, I think Super Science is like one of those players who has a ton of potential and just is missing something. But whatever. But anyway, I'm going to cut the stream for today. It's midnight. I still want to work out a little bit before I go to sleep. I'm going to stream tomorrow, but I'm not doing this. Someone told me to call it Knight's Knowledge, and I might call it that for kicks. I'll upload this to YouTube tomorrow. Have a good night.